you're a midlife woman and you have a vision. Now, with that being said, it may have shifted quite a bit. You've evolved. So as you evolve as a human being and as a woman, your vision and being a visionary is also going to shift. So even though I specialize in treating midlife women who are feeling like they might be in the weeds about things in their lives, they might be going through sort of midlife type issues, whether it's dealing with aging parents or launching kids or whatever it is, you've been successful, right? You've juggled all the things and you'd like to carve out a piece for yourself. And maybe you're just stuck trying to figure out how the hell to do it. And if this is you, then hi, my name is Jen, founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness. I'm a transformational purpose coach. And what I love to do, what my mission is to support midlife women who really want to lean into their vision. They have this sense that they started in one space and they're landing in another. And so I too have been there at 40. I was in a beautiful psychotherapy practice that I had been in for years, and I knew that I wasn't meant to be there anymore. So I had to take a really scary step and leap of faith and go and shift gears. And so Laughing Lotus Wellness really became my focus after finally leaving the practice when I knew it wasn't serving me anymore. And are you listening to that and are you leaning in? Do you have that sense that you've done all these things and checked the boxes and yet you're still here and you're trying to figure out what it is you're going to do next? And maybe one of your questions is this it? And is this enough for me? And when you lean into no, and you're like, there's something that I am being called to do that's a little bit different than even the plan that I thought I had for myself. That's where I come in. What I work to do is really support you in getting clarity around where you've been, where you want to go, how you're going to get there. We clarify your purpose so that you have this absolute connection to where you're going to be taking your life and how people feel when they're in your realm. They're picking up what you stand for just by being present. And we want you to harness that and take that and elevate that so that no matter what form it takes how you're showing up in the world, you are so clear about how you're delivering that purpose and your legacy out all the way around you. So that's what I love to do. We get clear on that, right? We give you a new sense of success, a new definition of success and purpose in midlife. And so that's what we do. So for those of you that don't know me and aren't familiar, I have a clinical practice background of over 20 years. And then I went and I started diving into energy healing experiences and things like that. So I'm certified in a handful of those favorite tools of mine. One of my very favorite tools is meditation from yoga certifications. I'm going to speak to that in just a second. So we're going to be talking today about a vision and being a visionary. And this is one of my very favorite, gets me so hella excited to talk about because this is like one of my passions and I love seeing women lean into this. It is one of my very favorite things. And so sometimes when I work with women, one of the things that will happen is they'll come in and they'll be maybe like high level corporate America, high level finance, just high level, like big experience in that world. And they want to shift gears into being an entrepreneur, which is like of my heart. I love it so much. And I've owned 3 businesses. So I'm super passionate about like entrepreneurship and owning your own thing. And so I get to speak a lot about this. And you can be a visionary staying right where you are. And you can also be a visionary of, I want my own thing that's of my soul, of my heart. Like I'm going to create this next thing that belongs just to me. And so I love this energy. So for me, I redefine vision as this, and I'm only going to do it once, the very beginning of all the blogs so that we hear it one time at least. Vast creation of information to support the intuition of your new direction in the new year or season of your life. So I want you to give yourself permission to use this definition of vision, even when it's not like a new year, right? So it's not just powerful right now. This is the idea of being a visionary to me is profound at all times. Like we're always being invited to lean in. And so to me, having this kind of awakening where we're starting to find that it's like, oh, I'm being called to do something different. And for some reason, what was working isn't. And now I'm in a new space. I get excited about the new chapter. So just so you know, I'm coming in with all my energy because this is the kind of thing I love to do. So I'm going to give you 4 parts today, 4 things that you can work on that are going to help create your vision. Okay. 1 is mindset. And I said, you can either choose, right? I'm a big choose your own adventure fan. So you can either choose to gaslight yourself, when you're trying to lean into your vision and to be unkind to yourself and this won't work, this shit, I've done this shit before and it didn't work. Who am I to think that I deserve that kind of thing? I already have this great gig. What would be wrong with me that I would feel like I need to change something else? There is all these ways you can talk yourself out of leaning into your vision. I'm already in this thing. I worked hard, did it. When I was 40, the kinds of thoughts and the gaslighting I did for myself, that self-sabotage of how spoiled are you that you've already got this highly functioning thing, this dream that you built and this seed that you planted, what's wrong with you that you think you need more? I can tell you the list of thoughts that absolutely erodes the passion and joy you feel for moving into the next thing and having that vision. And what's damaging about that is that if where I am is no longer my vision, I don't have the energy or lifeblood flowing to it. So I want you to almost imagine in a strange way, the analogy of if I'm not energized and excited and connected to it, it's like a limb that's not getting any blood flow. That's kind of what this is like for us in our journey. So if we aren't excited and thrilled and having that same vision, the energy gets stuck and doesn't show up in it. So it's going to stop growing. It's going to stop producing the thing that we want it to do for us, whatever, or the legacy we want to create. So I too had to make a shift. So I just have been there and done this. And I want to speak to that piece of how unkind we can be to ourselves. Or you can choose to make it like, I'm going to give myself so much space and grace. I understand that this is a really big choice that I'm making. I'm going to give myself the time to work my way into this. I don't have to have a vision and have the solution in 2 weeks. I can start somewhere and begin really slowly and have so much grace and space for myself that I just know that I'm leaning into this powerful shift. And so I'm not going to judge myself. I'm actually going to be really kind and conscientious for myself, right? So huge. Mindset's one. You got to get your mindset right to just really create the space for this next piece of whatever it is you're going to do. Second, meditation and visualization. We're going to talk really quickly about some of the things that we've done typically that might not necessarily be working for you in the same way anymore. Meditation and visualization are so powerful. So if you want to be a visionary, many visionaries I know that like just are exponentially successful and full of joy incorporate meditation and visualization. Why? Because I want you to imagine and remember that your mind does not understand the difference between what you think is happening and what is actually happening. Chew on that for a second. Okay, like lean in. If my mind does not know the difference, there's so much power in being able to say, in my mind, I'm absolutely imagining the success I'm going to have. I'm creating this new vision in my head, stem to stern, the whole story, literally spending time imagining what it will look like, who will be a part of it, what do you hear, see, smell, taste, touch, all of your senses, engaging them in this really visceral experience and seeing it come to fruition. That is like so much extra energetic juice and boost for you that you do not even understand. Manifesting what you want looks like these behaviors. So I'm going to really strongly suggest you lean into finding a meditation and visualization practice to boost whatever it is that you're creating up in this beautiful space and trusting that intuition that you've got inside. Because whatever you're being given, I think it's a gift. When we see something else for ourselves, that's gifted to us. So it isn't just something that like lands out of the middle of nowhere. We're being gifted a wisdom, insight, and encouragement to go live into something that only we can do. So you have to trust it a little bit, right? That's where intuition comes in. I'm going to trust if I'm being asked to do something, teach something, or be somewhere, there's a reason that I need to be in that space, that I have a vision for that space. So the third one's mantra. Mantra and intention is a statement that we just say over and over and over again. So it can look like one word that you're using for your year that you plaster all around you, right? It can be, I love one word, like kind of your goals, but everyone's different. So maybe it's a mantra that is, this year I stand for blank. This year my vision is blank. You create your own little mantra and you say that on a really regular basis. And what it does again is it's like permeating all the layers. So it's an extra super boost to the vision that you've got that's going to help uphold and keep you really focused, right? So that intention is really, really powerful. So you want to lean in with intention, and I love mantra to back that up. So not just the intention, but mantra to back it up. Last, a new kind of vision board. Listen, I literally just not long ago removed all of my vision boards from my space, not because I didn't love them. I've done a lot of the things on them. But I've kind of just evolved away from them, not because and lots of, like I said, lots of success on them, but also some things have evolved and I've changed. They weren't the same vision anymore. So what I want to invite you to do is this. I was talking to one of my friends and I was talking about doing a vision workshop, and she was like, I would be totally here for that. And just, I know that people do those vision board things, but like, I wouldn't want to go to one of those. I don't have time for that shit. And I burst out laughing. I was like, I get it. So here's what I want to say. Listen, in midlife, many of the people that follow me are really like, they're in their business, they're in their career, they don't have a lot of excess time. Doing a traditional vision board, if it's your wheelhouse, copy, cut and paste, glue it, whatever you got to do. If that's your jam and you really love that, by all means. I have changed and shifted mine, and I changed and shifted mine by creating it in Canva. I have friends that do it in Pinterest. So I really feel like one of the things we can do is harness creative tools that are already out there. And I just copy and paste and like create like kind of like a poster size piece of paper. I print that in full color and then I laminate it. And it's sitting in front of me. And when I'm meditating, it's sitting in front of me when I'm doing big presentations, podcasts. It's this incessant reminder sitting right in front of me. I can't maneuver canvas to be around enough where I would want to see it like I want to look at my goals. If they're front and center every day and I'm meditating on them, I'm looking at the symbology on it, I am in it. That's what you really want to do, is immerse yourself. So if the real old school standard kind of vision board is your jam, by all means, I would really encourage leaning into a vision board a different way. Second piece I'm going to leave you with is this. If you do a vision board for a whole year, that's a lot. That's a lot. Now, because it's a lot to harness. So the other thing I'm going to lean into is I'm going to encourage you to consider doing a vision board for shorter stints of time, being really focused. Because if you're going to copy and paste and do this, say, every 3 months, you could do it every month. You could do it however you wanted. It's so much more relevant to you in the moment. Okay. And that would require you to understand where you want to go for the whole year. I get it. And then work your way backwards. I really feel like being that much more intentional and that much more focused and exactly where you're going is so money. So I would encourage you to think about doing it that way as well. I get it. If a year is your jam, do the year. And I'm just going to say that I think that there is a deep power in calling awareness and intention and manifesting what you want in the here and now in a very momentary focused way. So that's what I would throw out there to you as well. So I just want to toss in these 4 steps I think are super important: that mindset, meditation, visualization, mantra, and a new sort of style of vision board. Just getting you leaning in to how you want to show up to this next year and your next season of life. Maybe you're not listening to this right on the timeline that I'm giving it out to you. It could be that I'm delivering this message to you months from now. You can do this any single time. These things apply to you if you want to be a visionary all the time, right? So I just want to leave you with that idea. And if this was helpful and you would like more beautiful tips for vision, for purposeful living, for midlife, please head on over to my website, which is laughinglotuswellness.com. And right in there, I've got purpose tools and tricks. You can go click. I've got all of my videos, all the vlogs, all the things are contained right there for you. So again, that's laughinglotuswellness.com. Go check it out. And I just want to say thanks so much for joining me. And I hope that you start this next season, this next year, wherever you're listening to this, with so much passion and energy to vision your life, to revise and revision how you're showing up for yourself, to give yourself permission to stand fully in your power and where you're being called intuitively in this life, that you might need to make a shift. And I know that that can be scary, but I'm going to invite you to lean into that and to use that to fuel you, using some of these tools to craft and create the next vision that you have for your life. Okay, loves, I'm going to just send you off. So many blessings, love and light. This is Jen signing off and supporting you to rise on your path to purpose in midlife, to live that best second half possible. Thanks, guys.